All right, welcome back, fellow CEOs. Let's get real and practical even more today. I am talking about how myself and my clients use ClickUp in a more practical sense and how this can support you in becoming a streamlined CEO. So first up is how you can use ClickUp to support you in a launch. As an online service provider or a coach, you're probably launching something at some point. And so launching has many moving pieces and team collaboration. So ClickUp serves as a central hub for your launch planning, your content calendar, keeping your team in the loop, and keeping the tasks streamlined. So when you first launch an offer, it's sometimes a little bumpy and you learn a lot along the way. This is a great place to keep all of those lessons learned to reference the next time you launch, whether that be the same offer or something similar. So once you know all of your launch pieces, you can create a template for the offer to rinse and repeat next time when little modifications are needed. So there's no reason to completely reinvent the wheel each time, and because that is incredibly exhausting, right? And so in simple terms, the goal when launching is to keep everyone on the same page, all assets, deadlines, and timelines together. You can utilize different views, reports, docs, automations, custom fields. There are so many ways to make this launch a collaborative effort and make launching next time seamless. And so the bottom line is you can store your entire launch plans inside of ClickUp to support you in all phases of your launch. Okay, so that's the first way that I use ClickUp for myself, but also for my clients and how they use it as well. So let's switch gears to podcasting, right? I'm talking to my fellow podcasters here, or anyone that's kind of thinking about starting a podcast. Like, how do you ensure you have episodes ready to go live on time, right? You're probably wondering that if you are new to podcasting or thinking about launching a podcast, but if you are already a podcaster, how do you ensure you have episodes ready to go live on time? I want you to think about that, right? How do you feel about that process? Okay, and so one of my favorite things to keep track of is actually my entire podcast and repurposing process inside of ClickUp. Okay, it's like the whole process, not kidding. All the way from writing the script to editing the podcast and posting on social media, we keep track of all of those processes. It's all organized in ClickUp, right? My team has it, I have it, and we all know the process. And so I have this podcast, which is mapped out in ClickUp where myself and my team work together to give you this podcast and create amazing content from it too, right? Everything is in there. My team knows where everything is. It's just so great. Seriously. And so in case you didn't know, we also have podcast editing and repurposing packages. So we can do this for you and you can be as involved in the process as you desire. So if you're like, this would be great, and I'm not sure I can do this by myself, we can absolutely support you in that manner. So you can say this whole podcast and repurposing strategy has a lot of moving pieces. All the pieces are monitored and assigned right inside of ClickUp, keeping everyone informed of the process and where everyone is in the process, right? And so my clients use ClickUp for podcasting pieces like podcast guest applications, forms to gather all the information needed to prepare for the guest interview, and then the content afterward. And so as a planning space so that you can work ahead, along with a management space to manage what happens from the editing process to pressing publish. Right. And so honestly, I would go insane without these very specific processes when it came to managing my own podcast but also my clients' podcasts. OK, my team and I would go insane if we did not have these processes very well documented and mapped out and running very smoothly inside of ClickUp. And I've also had amazing feedback from my team and my clients that these processes help them feel very confident in getting their podcast through every step and to you as a listener. All right. So there was launching and then there's podcast management. Okay. Those are just two ways that you can use ClickUp. And that's just scratching the surface. So those are more advanced ways, but they are ways that you can use this when you understand the platform. And so there's also other ways you can use ClickUp, right? Because it's that central hub for your business. So it's like daily task management. You can have content calendars in there, have all of your content mapped out. Project management, right? Everything is in the same space, to having your team in there so they know what to work on. You can easily assign things to them, everything like that, right? So that team collaboration piece is going to be huge. And so you can even use ClickUp to keep track of a sales pipeline as well, right? So who do you need to follow up with? Who haven't you talked about? Who is interested in what? You can easily keep track of those things in ClickUp as well. And so most importantly, it has the capabilities to be custom and grow with you. So here's my question to you. Why aren't you using ClickUp? That's what I want you to answer, okay? I want you to think about it. If you're listening to these episodes, you're questioning whether you should be using ClickUp. So I want to ask you, why aren't you using ClickUp? Why aren't you hitting that I want to do this button, right? And so that was actually a similar question someone asked me when I said I hated ClickUp, okay? They asked me why. And this was after trying 40 plus other project management systems. And my answer was, it's overwhelming and complicating. I need something simple. You might also feel the same way. And yet all the simple, in quotes here, project management tools weren't cutting it with the workload I was carrying. I needed more and I wasn't acknowledging it, okay? And so this was just a side note. Just because you don't acknowledge a problem exists doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And so let's just say that the fellow business owner got me questioning everything. Why was I not using ClickUp? Okay? So here I am today telling you why I love ClickUp and why I recommend it so often. Yeah, it wasn't like I just jumped headfirst in. I didn't try all these other systems. Like, I have tried over 40 of them, and I still am sitting here saying that I like what ClickUp has to offer and how easy it is to scale within it. So you don't have to learn another platform. Of course, there are other project management tools out there that can do these things. I'm not disagreeing with that. But ClickUp is one of the only tools that I use in my business that is able to really scale in this manner. So because it acts as the central hub for business, all of my business operations, okay? So let's say it this way. It keeps me sane when I'm overwhelmed, incredibly busy, and when I get to delegate to the team, right? Everything stays in the central hub. Everything links into it. Everything just happens right through it, all right? You want to have a central space for all of this so you're not all over the place and your team feels really confident as to how or what the next step is, right? So if you don't like ClickUp or you're not interested in this, you probably aren't still listening. Let's just be real. So if you are still listening, ask yourself why, and then send me a DM and let's chat about getting you a ClickUp Power Up Intensive, because the success I've seen from me coming into businesses and setting up ClickUp or simply reorganizing their ClickUp have genuinely been incredible to hear. And that's something that I love to do, has supported a fellow business owner in staying more organized, having more free time, and getting back to connecting with their clients more, right? All of these things have been super powerful for me. And that's why I actually created the ClickUp Power Up Intensive, was that so that you and me, it can literally go into your ClickUp and completely streamline your workspace in a single week. Because I've done this for higher level business owners that have far more complicated items in their ClickUp. We can absolutely do this for you just getting started or with a team. I have worked in all sorts of spaces. So let's go ahead and connect and get you back to feeling really good and organized and all of those things. Okay. And so we're going to just wrap this up today. In this episode, we've explored how ClickUp can serve as that central hub for your business, right? Everything is flowing through it. From managing complex launches to streamlining podcast production, right? Those are the two examples that I gave. So ClickUp offers a lot of flexibility and the power to handle a wide range of tasks and a wide number of team members, all those different things. And so remember, the key to success with ClickUp, okay, is to start small. I want you to experiment, and then I want you to customize your workspace to your specific needs, right? All of these things can be done inside of ClickUp when you do it right. And so don't be afraid to leverage its advanced features when it makes sense, right? Some of those features are automations and custom fields, right? Because these are going to streamline your workflow and boost your productivity even further when you're ready to take that next step. And if you are ready to take your business to that next level, I want you to think about investing in a ClickUp Power Up Intensive. That way I can have a one-on-one session with you to optimize your ClickUp workspace and help you achieve your business goals to where you are able to organize your projects, manage your team, and simply stay on top of those tasks, okay? And so don't let a cluttered workspace hold you back, right? Whether that be a cluttered ClickUp, whether that be a cluttered planner, whether that be a cluttered Google Doc, whatever it is, I want to make ClickUp work for you. So go ahead and grab a ClickUp Power Up Intensive, and we can get your ClickUp workspace working for you and incredibly streamlined in just 1 week. All right, if you have any questions, let me know. Send me a DM on Instagram, and I'd be happy to answer them for you. But you can go ahead and grab more information on the ClickUp Power Up Intensive in the show notes. All right, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and bye for now.